Hello, Leah Tim here with Seint Beauty. Today we're going to be doing our application with a brush, and we are going to use the very first brush that was introduced when Seint was a product. For those of you that may not know, Seint is formerly known as mascara, and the very first brush that came out was called the lllD brush, also known as the 3D brush. So you can see this brush right here. If you do have one of the older versions, you do notice that it is gold, and then it does have the black and brown bristles on the top. But this is our newer one with Seint, and so it has the rose gold middle in it, and then it has the white bristles. So you can see that our brush has two ends. It has a domed cone end, and then it has a smaller end here that you can tell that the bristles are going to be more dense, and then that is going to be your blending end right here. First off, this is going to be a medium coverage brush, okay? So this is going to be one step up from our blush bronzer brush, but it's going to be down from our buff brush, which you're going to get the most coverage with. So we are going to start, and we're going to apply our whole face with this. It does not matter which end you use for application, but you're going to for sure want to blend with this end on over here, okay? So we are going to start with our brightener. So I'm going to start with my brightener here, and I'm just going to go into this here, and I'm going to take this small domed end, and I am just going to pat it in, and I am just going to start tapping on the insides of my eyes like this, and I'm not going to add any more product here, and now I'm going to just add to the outside here. And this brush, you can see, is very soft in application and not heavy in depositing that makeup on my face. Then I'm also going to take that brightener, and I'm going to go right in the middle of my between my eyebrows here, down the middle of my nose, right above my cupid's bow, and then right at the base of my chin. You will notice from using a brush with application versus using your fingers for the hack method that we typically do sometimes, you are going to get a little bit more coverage with the brush here, and it's also going to be a less putting it into the makeup here. So you're going to see that when I applied that, I just dipped it in that one time, and it covered all of these areas right here for me. All right, then we're going to go into my main shade here, and I'm going to just take that main shade, and I'm just going to tap in. Remember, we always want to be tapping into our makeup versus swiping. We don't want all those bristles to get wrecked. They are super soft. So we're going to just take that, and we're going to go right down the side of my jawline here. I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side right here, and you can tell I'm just going to meet in the middle right here where I have that brightener. I'm also going to take that, and I'm going to apply on the sides of my cheek right here. And if you see that you do have a little bit of an extra cheek area, you can add a little bit more, but start with less, because with the medium coverage, when you start blending, you're going to get a really nice finish, and you don't want to have too much makeup on your face when you go for the blending. So I'm going to go ahead and put one on the side here. I'm also going to do my nose on the sides with my main color, and then I'm also going to go right across my forehead like so. All right. So now you can choose to add your contour using this domed end here, or you can use the stiffer end here for that as well. So I'm just going to stick with the application with the domed end, and I'm going to go right into my contour. Now notice I didn't have to clean off my brush at all when I do my application. You remember, this colors are going to stay exactly where you put them. So I'm just going to take that brush, and I'm going to just swipe down the side here. Same thing on the other side here, like so. Then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go up into my cheekbone area like this. And the exact same thing on the other side. So you can see very close to and similar to the detail brush. It's going to add that nice line, and it kind of gives a little bit of a blending right away too. All right, so you don't have to do everything all in one. And then we're going to go with our contour on the sides of our nose if you want to do your nose a little bit. So I'm going to add that little stripe on each side of my nose, and then cap it off at the very edge. Okay, bringing that up into my eyebrow area just a little tiny bit. All right, so now that we have all of our makeup on our face, minus the lip and cheek, I do like to always save that for last, solely because I really like a really bright lip and cheek. So I like to add that after, because I typically do go in and add more if I do it in the one-step process, but it's just completely up to you what you and your preference is. So now I'm going to switch over to the bigger end here, which is going to be my blending end, and I'm just going to start tapping all over my face. Now the difference between using the tapping, stippling method versus swiping and swirling is I really feel like that as my skin matures, it's really more beneficial for my skin to do the tapping method. With swiping and swirling, you get more of a blend, and I feel like for the coverage that I desire for my skin tone and for my coverage, I really like the tapping method because it really helps blend everything super seamlessly, but it also gives it more of a look versus more of a makeup look versus swirling and making it all disappear. So you can see that everything is blending very nicely together. Remember, if you are getting to a point where your makeup is starting to not blend as nice and seamless, it's time for a new color match. One of the biggest things with our products is they are specific to your skin tone, and the colors, believe it or not, which is so crazy to me how this system works, that if you do not have the right color, it can throw off the blending just a little tiny bit. Also, one thing that you can also keep in mind when we're blending is making sure that you have a clean brush. Making sure that you're using our brush cleaner 1 time a week to be able to clean and condition your bristles really helps in the final blend of the application. So now that I have all of my main colors all blended out, I'm just gonna go into my contoured area and I'm just gonna start blending that. I'm gonna just swipe back and forth. The contour is one that you don't have to worry about stippling because it does have a little bit of a firmer than our regular highlights. So we wanna make sure that we blend that really nicely. And I'm just gonna take that brush again. Remember, we're always gonna be pushing up towards our cheekbone and up towards our hairline, like so, and blending out that contour line. Now you can see, very similar to the blush brush, this one has a very nice soft finish, but gives a little bit more of a medium coverage. And remember, I didn't put a bunch right here, but you can see how that blended into the areas that I didn't have any product. If you feel as you go on with your blending, if you want to have more in a certain area, just go ahead and take that brush and tap into whatever color you want to do and just start tapping and stippling in areas that you feel like you want a little bit more coverage. But other than that, this is going to be the lllD brush. Again, the first brush that mascara slash Seint ever made. The only difference between the two now is going to be the color of the bristles and the inside of the brush. But again, it's going to have a nice medium coverage, still giving you that natural finish. If you have any questions at all about this brush, please reach out to me. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you can go ahead and you can add your lip and cheek at the end, whichever one you want to use. And you can apply with your fingers and blend in with your brush, or you can also tap the brush into your makeup and go from there. All right. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.